You ever wake up already tired and you don't even know why? That's the feeling behind the thumbnail you just clicked. That sad little stick figure? It's not a joke, it's a mirror. Because most people don't ruin their mornings in the morning. They ruin them the night before, quietly, invisibly, without even realizing it. And the crazy part, almost no one talks about this. Everyone wants better mornings, yet they keep repeating the exact habits that make waking up feel like a punishment. And be honest for a second. How many times have you opened your eyes already feeling behind? Already anxious? Already disconnected from your own goals? It's not a motivation problem. It's not a discipline problem. It's not even a bad morning problem. It's a night problem. Your brain doesn't magically reset at sunrise. It carries whatever you fed it the night before. And if nights are chaotic, your mornings don't stand a chance. That's why this video might be the biggest life lesson in self-development you'll hear this month. Because once you understand what's actually blocking your productivity, your mental focus, your time management, your mindset shifts. And today, I'm going to show you how to stop sabotaging your mornings before they even begin, with science, with simplicity, and with strategies you can use tonight. If you've ever wondered why some people wake up sharp while others wake up drowning, stay with me until the end. The answer isn't in the morning routine everyone keeps posting online. It's hidden in the hours before you fall asleep. Stay quiet, stay sharp, stay in progress. At some point in their self-development journey, they realize the brain works exactly like a phone. It doesn't matter how powerful the device is if the charging cable is damaged. The night is that cable. If they plug into chaos, they wake up at 20% battery before the day even starts. If they plug into calm, they wake up with full energy, sharp mental focus, and a mindset that can actually handle life lessons instead of just surviving them. Slowly, they start to see nights not as the end of the day, but as the beginning of tomorrow. A productive morning doesn't start with the alarm. It starts with the last decision made before closing their eyes. Their discipline in the evening decides whether they wake up as a tired extra in their own life or as the main character. That's when productivity stops depending on motivation and starts depending on strategy. It's less about willpower, more about how to live better by design. Most people want king of the jungle mornings while living like distracted tourists at night. They scroll, snack, binge, complain, and then wonder why time management feels impossible every single day. The brain is not judging, it's just recording. Whatever they feed it before bed becomes the default script for the next morning. And this is where real personal growth begins, when they protect their nights like they protect their future. Over time, they learn to treat nighttime like a quiet contract with themselves. The way they wind down becomes a form of discipline, almost a private ritual of self-respect. Small choices, lights, sounds, thoughts, conversations, decide if tomorrow's mindset will be heavy or light. And just when they think it's only about sleeping earlier, they bump into a deeper truth. It's not just when they sleep, but what they pour into their brain before it powers down. And that's where the banana smoothie brain idea starts to make a lot more sense. They eventually learn that the brain behaves like a blender, even though nobody explains it that way. Whatever they throw into it before bed, noise, peace, arguments, doom scrolling, gets blended into the flavor of the next morning. If they load the blender with stress and drama, they shouldn't expect to wake up with clarity or mental focus. That's just how the nervous system works. It's not magic, it's self-development at the biological level. Toxic inputs at night create a toxic morning smoothie. Late night arguments, they become grogginess. Endless scrolling, that soft mental fog that ruins productivity. Overthinking, that tension in the chest when they open their eyes. But when they feed their mind calm, soft light, silence, reading, stillness, their brain blends something entirely different. They wake up lighter, clearer, more disciplined. It's one of the most underrated life lessons about how to live better. Your morning is just the echo of last night's choices. When they start studying the chemistry behind it, everything clicks. Cortisol spikes when they stay up too late, tricking the body into thinking the night is still daytime. Dopamine rewires itself during sleep, which means the last inputs of the night decide if they rebuild a chaotic brain or a focused one. This is why personal growth is not only about habits, it's about protecting the brain while it restores itself. And it's exactly where time management silently begins. At night, not in the morning. Eventually, they recognize the real principle. Garbage in, garbage out, calm in, sharp morning out. And once this truth sinks in, they naturally begin asking the next question. If the brain blends whatever I give it, what should I actually give it? That curiosity becomes the bridge to something far more practical, a step-by-step framework for designing nights that build stronger mornings rather than accidentally destroying them. Here's the truth. Your nights fall apart because you keep depending on willpower. And willpower is the worst tool to use at night. Your brain is tired, dopamine is low, and distractions feel twice as strong. So here's what you're going to do. Step 1, create your shutdown signal. This is your automatic cue that the night is officially beginning. Let your room lights shift to warm red at 9 p.m. Set your phone to do not disturb automatically. Use a gentle reminder that says, your future self is clocking in now. Don't rely on motivation. Let your environment start the work for you. Once you set this shutdown signal, something interesting happens. You stop negotiating with yourself. You don't argue about whether you should slow down. You simply do. It becomes effortless discipline. And you'll notice your productivity the next morning becoming sharper because your mindset isn't fighting against nighttime chaos anymore. Think of it as personal growth without the internal drama. You're designing how to live better by controlling the energy of your evenings. Then comes step 2, the digital sunset. And listen carefully, because this step is a game changer. Turn off every screen at least 1 hour before bed. Not because it's cute or aesthetic, because it's neuroscience. Blue light tricks your brain into believing the day hasn't ended, slowing melatonin and hijacking your mental focus for tomorrow. When you shut the screens down, your brain finally shifts from stimulation into healing mode. You're not losing an hour, you're buying back your next morning. When you stick to the digital sunset, you'll feel the shift fast. That screen-free hour becomes the highest quality hour of your entire day. Maybe you'll read, maybe you'll journal, maybe you'll stretch or just breathe in silence. Whatever you choose, you'll feel your mindset sharpening and your discipline strengthening without force. And when you wake up lighter, clearer, more intentional, you'll realize something powerful. If just the first 2 steps can reshape your mornings, imagine what happens when you master the next ones. Now, once you've activated your shutdown signal and committed to the digital sunset, it's time for step 3, the early bathroom routine. And trust me, this one matters more than you think. Most people leave all their hygiene tasks for the last minute, washing their face, brushing their teeth, removing makeup, and then they wonder why they suddenly feel wide awake. Cold water on your skin at midnight is basically a false morning. So do this earlier. Handle everything while your mindset is still winding down, not when your body is ready to sleep. When you shift this simple habit, you remove one of the biggest hidden enemies of productivity: accidental alertness. You're not forcing discipline, you're designing for it. Think of it as personal growth disguised as self-care. Doing these tasks early keeps your mental focus in low power mode, allowing your body to transition into sleep without interruptions. And it's one of those life lessons that sounds tiny but changes how you live better instantly. Then comes step 4, the mind dump and tomorrow's domino. And this one will change the way you manage your entire life. Your mind at night behaves like a jungle radio. Random thoughts, unfinished worries, mental noise pretending to be important. So you grab a notebook and pour everything out. Write 3 good things from your day. Write the life lessons you learned. Write what could have been better. Let your brain empty itself so it doesn't carry that weight into sleep. After the dump, choose only one task for tomorrow, your domino. Not a 12-item list that destroys your discipline. One meaningful task that, if completed, collapses everything else in place. That's real-time management. When you pick your domino the night before, you wake up with direction, not confusion. And once you start experiencing mornings with clarity instead of chaos, you'll naturally want to elevate your routine even more, which leads directly into the next 2 steps, where your evening transforms from good enough into something truly powerful. By this point, your mind is quieter, your routine is anchored, and you've given tomorrow a direction. Now it's time for step 5, the tea and book ritual. And no, this isn't about being aesthetic or romanticizing your life. This is neuroscience disguised as comfort. A warm chamomile or peppermint tea signals your nervous system to downshift, and switching to a physical book anchors your mindset into calm focus. Give yourself 20 minutes. If you catch yourself rereading the same sentence, congratulations. Your brain is telling you it's ready to sleep. This ritual becomes one of the most underrated tools in self development. It teaches your brain that rest isn't something you fall into, it's something you lead yourself into. Instead of ending the night overstimulated, you close it with discipline and intention. And little by little, you begin to feel your personal growth accelerating, not because you're doing more, but because you're teaching your mind how to live better with far less friction. Then comes step 6, body cooling and environment reset. And this step turns everything you've done so far into a complete system. Your body needs the right temperature to fall asleep easily, somewhere between 15 degrees Celsius and 20 degrees Celsius. That's your neurological sweet spot. Add light stretching, a few slow breaths, maybe a warm shower to relax your muscles. And before lying down, reset your environment. Tidy room, soft lighting, quiet space, water on the bedside table. A clean room creates a clean mindset. When you consistently do this, your nights stop being random and start becoming strategic. You wake up hydrated, clear, grounded, because everything around you is designed to support your discipline instead of sabotaging it. And once you feel this transformation in your mornings, something even deeper begins to shift. You start realizing you're no longer just improving habits, you're changing identity. And that's where the next part of this journey becomes truly powerful. And before we move on, let me give you something that might genuinely change the way you handle your nights, your mornings, and honestly, your entire week. If you've been listening closely, you've probably noticed a pattern. Most of your problems don't come from lack of motivation. They come from mental overload, scattered focus, and the quiet, digital hangover you carry from day to day without realizing it. That's exactly why I created the Digital Hangover System, a complete guide that shows you how to reset your mind, reorganize your week, and regain control of your productivity step by step. If your brain feels cluttered, if your habits collapse by Wednesday, or if you constantly feel behind, this book will feel like a breath of oxygen. It's the tool I wish I had years ago. You'll find it right there in the first pinned comment. Take a look when this video is over. If the first half of this video opened your eyes, the book will open the rest of the door for you. At some point in this journey, you realize something profound. You're not just building a night routine, you're building a new identity. A person who designs the next morning the night before is playing a completely different game from everyone else. While the world ends their day with chaos, you end yours with intention. And that changes everything. Your productivity, your mindset, your discipline, even the way you experience life lessons that used to overwhelm you. This identity shift doesn't scream, it whispers. It shows up when you choose calm over chaos, clarity over noise, direction over distraction. You start waking up with mental focus instead of mental clutter, and that alone separates you from 90% of people. Not because you're better, but because you finally understand how to live better by aligning your habits with the person you want to become. This is personal growth in its purest form, not flashy, not dramatic, just consistent. And here's the part most people miss. These small nighttime decisions compound. They build an internal advantage that no one else sees. While others waste their nights on autopilot, you're stacking micro wins that quietly transform your time management and your self-development. This is the silent edge. The advantage that doesn't show up on social media, but shows up in your mornings, your performance, your clarity, and your overall direction in life. Eventually, this consistency reshapes the story you tell yourself about who you are. You're no longer the person who tries to have better mornings. You're the person who creates better mornings. And when your identity shifts, your behavior follows naturally. But this journey isn't done yet, because there's a deeper truth waiting for you at the end of all this, a truth about why tomorrow truly begins tonight. And that's exactly where we're heading next. There's one more thing almost nobody talks about, yet it might be the most powerful morning hack you'll ever learn. Your brain doesn't just rest at night, it runs memory wash cycles, a series of neurological cleanups that remove mental toxins and emotional residue from your day. Think of it like your brain's dishwasher. If you go to bed overstimulated, stressed, or emotionally charged, those wash cycles get interrupted. And the result? You wake up heavy, unfocused, irritated, and confused about why your productivity collapsed before the morning even started. Here's the science. During deep sleep, your brain cells shrink slightly, creating space for cerebrospinal fluid to wash through them, literally rinsing out metabolic waste, stress hormones, and unused neural connections. It's one of the most underrated mechanisms in self development because it controls your mindset more than motivation ever will. And if your evening routine is chaotic, those wash cycles become incomplete. Imagine doing laundry but stopping halfway. You wake up with mental stains you were supposed to release overnight. But here's the part almost nobody knows. You can boost these wash cycles with one small habit. It's called pre sleep emotional labeling. Before bed, you take 30 seconds to name what you're feeling: stress, exhaustion, frustration, pressure, overthinking. Studies from UCLA and Stanford show that labeling reduces amygdala activity and increases prefrontal clarity. Translation: your brain gets the green light to process the emotion during the night instead of dragging it into tomorrow. It's discipline disguised as self awareness, and it upgrades your time management without any effort. When you combine emotional labeling with the steps you've already learned — shut down signal, digital sunset, early bathroom routine, mind dump, tea and book, cooling, environment reset — you create a perfect storm for personal growth. You wake up with mental focus, lighter energy, and a mindset sharp enough to handle life lessons without collapsing. And once you feel what a fully washed brain morning feels like, you'll never want to go back. Because you'll see clearly, tomorrow doesn't wait for the morning. Tomorrow begins tonight. Now you know the truth most people never realize. Your morning is just the echo of your night. So the real question is, what are you going to do with this? Will you keep letting your evenings run on autopilot, or will you finally design the kind of night that builds the life you actually want? Your self-development doesn't hinge on motivation. It hinges on the tiny decisions you make when the world gets quiet. And those decisions compound. They always do. So before you leave this video, ask yourself, what's one habit you'll change tonight? What's one distraction you'll cut? What's one action your future self will thank you for? Because none of this works if it stays as theory. Change only happens when you apply it. And if you're serious about productivity, mindset, discipline, and learning how to live better, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. This journey doesn't happen alone. And if this video opened your eyes, there's something you need to watch next. You might build better nights starting today, but if you don't understand the one lesson life keeps repeating until you finally learn it, your old patterns will pull you back. That's why I made the video right here on the screen, so you know exactly what life has been trying to teach you all along. Tomorrow begins tonight. Stay quiet, stay sharp, stay in progress.